My name is Charmel Thomas. I'm with Charmel's Travels, and today I am chatting with...
I am Tina Gail with Yes to Travels, and we are both Travelpreneurs.
Yes, we are. So I just want to chat a little bit today. So Tina, I know you introduced me to this, so I want to start with asking what drew you to the travelpreneur life?
So really, we were already traveling, my husband and I, Glenn. Of course, you know Glenn.
I know Glenn.
And I had a friend reach out and say, I know you guys like to travel, and you really need to take a look at this. Well, at the time, I was working full-time in the corporate world for over 30 years. And when I saw this opportunity, I pretty much jumped in. I was like, we need to do this. And went back to the person that introduced me to it and said, okay, we're in. But just for the travel side. And what I mean by that is there are two sides to this business. And the other side actually allowed me to introduce it to other people, which was not my comfort zone. But we talked about it again. And when I realized that I do have friends that love to travel and I could help them do the same thing, I said, okay, I'm all in. And we did it. It was part-time at first. I'm now doing it full-time and enjoying it. But I was able to help more people actually learn about what we do. Hence you.
That's me. Yes. And so I appreciate you for giving that second part a chance, because otherwise I might not have known about it or not known about it as soon as I did. But I do remember you came to me and you're like, Charmel, you like to travel. And I do. You should take a look at this. And I remember we talked about it. We both have that background in corporate America. That's how we met.
That's right.
We're in Louisville, Kentucky, by the way. And so when I moved here, Tina was one of the first people that I worked with. So I've known her for close to 20 years. Yeah. So it was one of those things where she wasn't the kind of person that was always saying, hey, you need to do this, you need to do that. So when she finally said, hey, you need to look at this, I was like, okay, I'll look at this. And right away, I liked it because I was like, oh, I didn't know you could do this with travel. So I can really just, I'm booking my travel anyway. I can get commission on what I'm doing. This really makes sense. But I did say no because for me, I was like, well, I'm already working full time. It was like, one of those times when you think, oh, my job is just so busy right now. I don't have the time. And I actually had another side hustle at the time. Yep. And I was like, this is great, but I'm not going to do it. I let the whole time issue hold me back. I will say, I don't remember exactly how quickly it was, but once I had seen it, it stuck in my head. Yeah. And so then I went back to you and I was like, okay, I changed my mind. I want to do this. Let me sign up next week.
And was there any pressure?
There was no pressure. No, I went back to you. You were just like, okay, and
I didn't quite understand, but
yeah. Didn't understand it. But yeah, when I came back, you were like, okay, yeah. So that worked out. Yeah. And that was good. And I signed up probably the following week.
I think so.
Never regretted it, which is funny because it was actually during COVID.
It was.
When we signed up. So still worth it. But that was really good because, it gave me a time to learn what I wanted to do with it and where I wanted to go. And then when you talk about the second part of the business, you did say to me, go ahead and do this. It's just a few dollars more. And I wasn't that enthralled with it because, again, I had my other side business going on. So I just didn't think I was going to do anything. And I had a lot of COVID denial, so I don't even know if that bothered me. It may have, I don't know. But I was just like, yeah, okay, I'll do it, whatever. It's a few dollars. And so I am glad that I did because it was COVID. I did have like a little more time to kind of watch some of our team videos and company training about it. And that's when it really started clicking because I think when I first signed up, it was all travel. I can do this with travel. I can do this with travel. Yeah. And just seeing more details and spending more time thinking about that extra opportunity, then it really made sense. Right. Never regretted that either.
And to be honest, that first year for me, because it was COVID, I only really introduced it to friends that I knew liked to travel. Yeah. I didn't do anything else with it. And that really wasn't that was the plan. I really didn't plan on doing anything more with it, but we utilized that travel side and took great advantage of it.
You did.
It wasn't until about 2 years later when I realized what it could actually do for other people that it hit me.
Yeah.
And at that point, I realized as I was talking to people just in the community, just by chance, not even people I knew, that they don't even know that this opportunity is out there for them to take advantage of.
Right.
And that was the crazy thing for me.
Yeah.
And at that point, I knew that I had to step out of my comfort zone because this is not my comfort zone.
Yeah.
But I needed people to at least hear about it.
Yeah.
And if I could help them in some way, one way or the other, save or earn or whatever that looked like for them, I needed to help them.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. And I think that we kind of talk about the things that the way we thought about it at the beginning and kind of how we think about it now is totally different.
Totally different.
And it's worth it. And you just see so much more of it. But I want to take a step back because, I almost said no to it just because of a time issue. You were pretty much a yes right away. But was there ever a moment where you're like, is this really a yes? Is there ever anything that might have held you back?
So not really, but I will say for a split second, and maybe because of the year it was and everything that was going on, my first, one of those initial thoughts, and probably a lot of people have this thought, but one of my initial thoughts was, well, there's a monthly fee.
Oh,
how do I really feel about that?
Yeah.
But it really wasn't that much. And even in discussing it with Glenn, he's like, this is nothing.
That looks
really
very much like
for,
Glenn.
Right.
Yeah.
For what you're getting for it and from it and just the experience itself.
Yeah.
It really, at that point, I mean, like I promise you, it was like a second that I even thought about it, but it was there for sure.
Right.
Other than that, we were basically all in. And the other part is there was nothing really tying me to it. Like there's no contract.
There's some freedom in that, right? Like, okay, I can try this out, see how it works. Does it make sense? But not feeling like, oh, if I make this decision to try this, I'm going to regret it for years to come, because there's nothing like that tying us down to it. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. And even now, like being in it for a few years, like there's no quotas that we just have to meet.
Exactly. So, there is no one beating down your door. I'm not beating down your door saying, hey, you haven't booked anything this month. Or it's your business and you do what you want with it. Yeah. And that's the flexible part of it that we love.
Yeah. One of the things we love.
Yes.
What else do you love?
Oh gosh, there's so much really, what we get in helping other people do this, because almost everybody is traveling.
Yeah.
I mean, if you talk to anybody walking down the street, standing in the grocery store, whatever the case is, at your kids' ball games, most people are traveling.
Yeah. Sometimes for their kids' ball games.
That's true. I did that for years.
Yeah.
And helping them get something back out of that, that's one of the best things about it.
Yeah.
One of the best things, with the flexibility, no quotas. I can learn whatever I want to learn about.
Yeah.
And help other people do that as well and learn what they want to learn, because we're not all the same. We're not all looking for the same thing.
We're not.
And the flexibility is, I can't even say enough about that. Yeah. What about you? What do you love about it?
You kind of hit it a little bit when you said learn what you would want to learn about, because I think what really hit me first when I was looking at all of the travel agent resources, I was like, oh, there's a lot more out there than the normal engines, and not to put them down because they're really good.
Yeah, absolutely.
You just kind of think when you're like booking a trip for yourself, oh, I'm going to go here. This is what I've always done. And when we are able to get into our resources, the number of suppliers that we can work with and compare against, and I was amazed. I've never even heard of this. Even cruise lines, and at the time I wasn't even a big cruiser, and a lot of people probably still wouldn't call me a big cruiser right now, but I've taken a few now. But I was like, I've never heard of that cruise line. I've never heard of that cruise line.
Right.
There's this whole list, and it just opens your eyes up a whole lot more to just what's possible with travel. And so for somebody who I want to see so many different places, to know that there's so many different ways to do it, absolutely love that. And then the other part, when you have somebody on your team come and you say, oh my gosh, I just booked, this trip for my client, or, they get like a positive feedback back from their client who just returned from a trip. We're helping different people. I don't even know who her client is, but
Exactly.
She's having a great experience.
Yeah.
So it's great to be able to help somebody else do what I do.
Exactly. No, I love that.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah. What else? Let's see.
I'm trying to think. What else has been good about it? Okay, so I guess I would like to talk about what might be almost hard for you, or what do you think has been the most difficult thing?
Oh, in particular, like either side or
Either side.
I mentioned this before, but I think the hardest thing for me was just getting out of my comfort zone and talking about it with people I didn't know. I can talk to people. That's not a big deal. But I really wanted to get to more people, make that reach even bigger. And so I started networking.
Yeah.
And so that's been a big part of my life over the past year. And it's not easy.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's not you, stepping out, standing up and talking in front of people, but I've tried, I've gotten myself out there. I'm doing it more and more. And I think that's the biggest part for me.
Yeah.
And helping people understand what it is that we do.
Right.
And how we can help them, how this opportunity can help them, what it can do for them.
Right.
That's the second piece of that, of getting people to understand.
Yeah. Because it's kind of unheard of almost.
Exactly.
I mean, neither one of us knew about it until somebody introduced us to it. And it's just not well known out there.
It sounds too good to be true.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
And I totally understand that.
And that's what I would say.
But we're living proof.
Yeah,
we're
exactly.
living proof. And we have other agents, partners that are living proof of what you can get out of it and what it can do for you.
Exactly. And for me, I think that's the hardest part is, I think, kind of almost knocking down misconceptions about what this is, because for whatever reason, people have had different experiences with what is network marketing and what is that like. And maybe they've been pressured by somebody before. And so they just think everything is going to be like that. And it doesn't have to be. This is truly your decision and what you want. But I think in talking to some people, a lot of people shut down as soon as that part happens. Just take a look at it. Make sure there's value in it for you, whether you're wanting it for travel purposes and to really expand what you know about that, have that second income, or if you want to do the growing your team aspect, but nobody's going to force you to do anything. And yes, the money is in it and the money is real.
Yeah. And a lot of times people maybe don't know what they want, so it's really, this works for anybody.
Right.
And maybe someone's like, well, I have a full-time job and I don't think I have time for this. And we run to ball games, and totally understand that. I've been there.
Right.
But it really is on your own time. You do it when you're taking a vacation. A family member is, a family trip, everybody's going. You could book for everybody and you're already going there. So, it benefits everyone.
It does.
Teachers, they're gone, they have the whole summer off. They have spring break and fall break and Christmas break. And those are opportunities that they can actually get something out of this.
Right.
Nurses, a lot of nurses do, 10 days on and
I know,
or 3 days on, 3 days on and 10 days off or something like that, depending on the hours. Plenty of time. If they're traveling, this could be for them. Right. Retirees, I mean,
they
traveling all the time
to see the world.
Exactly.
Yes.
And we have some team members, some partners that fall into those categories. I'm trying to think. Empty nesters.
Yeah.
Those that are, the kids are going off to college. They've got more time now. They can actually want to see the world, and this can actually help them as well.
Right. As a single person, I'm single. There's always just that kind of added expense if you're deciding, I'm going to take a solo trip because I just need to get away. Most things are priced for two people. It's getting better, I think.
It is getting better. I just saw Virgin Voyages.
They're one of the ones that I think that's been pushing to make it better. But yes, I love them. There's still that expense of you don't have anybody to necessarily split the cost with. So why not have kind of that bump? So there's just, you said it earlier, everyone is traveling usually in some way. And I think a lot of people that I talk to think, oh, I don't really go anywhere. We just go to Florida I'm like, that's traveling. As everything's going up, the price of eggs aren't what they used to be. the price of travel isn't what it used to be. So we all owe it to ourselves to kind of get some money back. I like to say the less I pay for one trip means I can have another trip.
Exactly.
I do girl math on it sometimes, but that works. And I think I kind of was thinking about, as we've been talking, I don't know that we've been completely clear about what it is that we get to do. So I want to kind of take a step back with that and help me fill it in if whatever I'm missing. So we've kind of talked about that there's 2 opportunities here, 2 businesses. The first is being able to book travel, kind of like what you naturally think about when you think of a travel agent. And so we can book travel, earn commission on it. That could be travel for other people, travel that we're doing ourselves, whatever it might be. But those resources that I talked about, we have the access to those. So if I want to book a Virgin cruise, our host travel agency has that partnership, and I can book a Virgin cruise. Right. I can book a Carnival cruise. I can book a resort stay in Jamaica. And then with all of that, there is a lot of training involved.
Yeah. If you want.
Exactly. Right. That's exactly where I was going. Yeah. And that's one of the things that I also love about it is I might not be interested in, doing, I'm going to say Disney training. And I don't have to because we get a lot of support, but I may want to be an expert in Disney. And then I decide to take that path and go through, Disney education or whatever that is. But the same maybe I decide I just want to train on luxury resorts in the Maldives. And that's my focus, right? It could be that narrow or it could be as wide as you want it to be.
Exactly.
And I think that that's another reason that it's really good that you can do this on your own time, choose what you want to do, and make it what you want and what's important to you. Because it doesn't do any good for you to spend a lot of time training on something that you don't even have any interest in.
Yeah. I mean, unless you want to book it for other people.
Right.
Like you can specialize in that even if you don't do it.
Right.
And learn more about it.
But you would still be interested in it. Yeah, exactly.
But we do, Europe, we have tons of agents and clients that love just to go to Europe. They don't cruise, they don't really want a resort, but we can do all of that.
Right. And that's hopping around city to city, all of that. So
yeah, I'm working on that for a couple years.
So that is the one part of it. Tina, the business opportunity part of it, just very high level because it gets a little too detailed. And we definitely would want to talk to you one-on-one if that was something that you were into. But yeah, high level, what does that look like? The other opportunity.
Yeah. It really is just talking with other people that love to travel and that would want to actually book their travel and for themselves or for their family and friends and whatever that looks like for you and just helping other people get to that point.
Right.
We do earn from that, but it's not taking away from anyone else.
I love that.
And that's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
We have really good companies that we work with. They're both debt free.
Yeah.
That's really important.
Yeah.
And the leadership. I can't say enough about the leadership, and they really do care. And we've grown over the past couple of years, we've really grown a lot.
Yeah.
And they are exclusive. So in order to, sell that travel, you have to be invited, from that other side, from that business side. So, but there are 8 streams of income total. So thinking about that, 7 streams of income are from the business side. You know what you get from the travel side. It's one stream of income. You book the travel and you earn money. Right. But there are 7 additional streams of income that are potential for you to earn. You may not want all 7, and that's okay too. Again, it's what you want to do with it. And there are different levels.
Yeah. And when it comes to, not putting all of your eggs in one basket, that's a really good way to kind of help leverage, multiple streams of income is what we want to do in life. So that makes a lot of sense.
Exactly.
Okay.
So Charmel, what's been the most rewarding thing about this business for you?
There's several, so I'm going to try to narrow it down, kind of one for each side.
Okay.
Again, being a travel lover, just seeing the different resources out there. This was, I won't say it's my favorite trip, but it ranks up there because I love a lot of places. So that's hard. But kind of right as we were beginning to come out of COVID, we were actually both supposed to go to Bali.
Yeah.
Because we wanted to explore this opportunity and kind of just see if this was a good place that we would want to send clients with this particular travel supplier. Right. But because of where we were in the pandemic, Bali had not opened back up for incoming travelers. So my sister and I had the time set aside. She's in education, so, you know, their time is funkier than mine was. So I was like, all right. And I was just ready to get out and just really do something and not feel and not feel limitations. So I want to go somewhere. So there was something that kept popping up on my screen, whatever the algorithm was doing, and it was Iceland. Iceland had never, ever been on my list of things to do. But what really felt good is when we decided we could do it, my sister's like, whatever, I just want to go somewhere. I don't have time. And so it was kind of all on me, and I was planning it. And I was just looking at it and then having those resources to plan it. I planned the whole trip, and I was later than I would normally be planning it because I kept thinking it was going to get canceled, because that was the time when everybody was like, the flight got canceled because, you know, so-and-so has COVID or whatever. So I didn't want to get too excited, but then it was close. I've got to plan this. And I was actually able to plan it. We had a successful trip.
You did.
It was really rewarding. And side reward, I told you about it later. You ended up going to Iceland a couple of years later. So it's like, it's so much fun to talk about travel and introduce something to somebody else. So there's that part of it. Like, you get the personal joy, you get the joy of sharing it.
Exactly.
You can always talk about something with travel. Even if something goes wrong, it's still a great story. Right.
Well, and I love hearing other people's stories.
Exactly. Yeah. It's always something interesting. So keeps that conversation going. And then the other rewarding part on the business side, I just can't help it. Just having somebody come to me and saying, I didn't think I would enjoy this. I'm really liking it. And guess what I just did? And whether that's, you know, they found a great trip for themselves or they were able to really book it for somebody else. It's very rewarding to have somebody come and do that. And I'm just like, oh, kind of warm fuzzy. So it's really, and I have so many examples. I don't even know which ones to share, but let me think. Like, even just recently, I had somebody who was just like, booked a really big luxury trip for somebody, and I didn't think that they would even want that. And they picked like the higher option. And it's just like, you know, we all kind of put each other and ourselves in these boxes, and then we realize we don't know everybody and what their expectations and limitations are, and that opens up our own expectations and limitations. And so kind of seeing that, because we had a team event where we were just bringing agents together to get to know each other, and we had stories like that, and there were several, and it was just really exciting to hear. And it's not exciting. Just me, you know, it's other people.
And seeing the joy.
Yeah, exactly.
It just in their faces, and they light up, and you know, I definitely, you feel that.
You do.
Yeah. And it makes you feel good joy. Because you were able to help them.
Exactly.
And that's the most rewarding thing for me.
Okay.
Yeah. Because just even seeing you, I mean, okay, you were my second person. She throws that in my face all the time.
I know. Well,
she was number
fault.
2.
It was my fault.
That's
I didn't do
she
it
said
fast
no,
enough.
Right? But just seeing what you've been able to do, the people you've helped, but also the travel that you've enjoyed. I mean, I love hearing your stories and seeing your travels.
Yeah.
And so that's really rewarding for me.
Yeah.
It really is. And if I can help one more person, you know, that's what makes me feel good. You know, when someone says, yeah, I think I'm interested. I don't get too excited. Because you don't know what people are thinking. But when someone joins the team, I'm like, awesome. That's great. And then I want to get them started. I want to help them, kind of give them some guidance, because not everybody's the same. And so where do they need to go? What do they want to learn? And what suppliers do they need to work with? And so, you know, having the team that we have now has just, I don't even know. It gives me goosebumps, and that we've been able to help so many people. And I know that we're going to help a lot more. That's what gets me.
So I think with that being said, that's what we're here for. We want you all to come ask us questions.
Yes.
What does this mean? How could this work for you? What does it really look like? We've been talking in more generalities here, but we can definitely get you specific details and would love to share it with you. We even have a travel agent quiz that we'd like you to try out. The QR code you can scan to get to that. We'll leave an easy link for you to do it in the comments as well. Yep. But yeah, we'd love for you to do that. And just to kind of reiterate, I am Charmel. I am a travelpreneur and I love it. I am with Charmel's Travels and here to do this and help you do the same.
Yep. And I'm Tina Gail with Yes to Travels. And we would just love to have a conversation and just see if this is a good fit for you. So definitely go out and check out the Travelpreneur quiz and see if, that conversation, leads to I don't know, some more travel.
Yeah.
Some income.
Yeah.
You never know where it leads.
Yeah, exactly. So we thank you for taking the time to listen to us and looking forward to talking to you more.
Yep. Have a great day.
Thank you.